Hello, welcome in. It's lovely to see you once again. Hi, Firefly, Arlinja, Starry, congrats on being the first ones to arrive. TJ, it's good to see ya. Howdy, Jen. Hi, Diana. Hi, guys. Welcome in, Mazza. How are y'all doing? Jen, congrats on your 10th stream streak. Hope you're doing well today. Let's get myself situated so I'm not in a bad posture for the entirety of the stream. It's kind of nice out. I think I'm going to open my window a bit. Oh, good air. I did some yard work today, and it was kind of nice out the entire time, which was lovely. That's good. That's really good. Hello. Hi, Violet. Welcome in. Alright, well, today we are jumping back in on Stardew Valley, and we're going to get a whole bunch of fishies. So we've mostly finished with the eels, in terms of those getting done at least. Ryan-san wa o genki desu ka? Are you asking am I happy? Does that mean, are you happy? I am happy, thank you. I know what genki means, but I don't know if ogenki means the same thing. Are you well? Okay. Dragon Prime, welcome in. Hope you're doing well today. Oh, fun fact. The next short does not come out for almost 20 minutes now. However, if you do ! short, I think you guys can view it anyways. It might say unreleased, actually. I'm not 100% sure on that, because I've set the link up, but I don't actually, it's not out until 5 p.m. Long. Good try, Jules. Welcome in. It's good to see you, Jules. And Lee Chat's here too. Wait, who's watching the baby? Hi, Nelly. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well today. Yeah, we went hard on Saturday last stream, Nelly. We got a lot of fish done. It's gonna go a little slower again. I am. Oh no, that's a bad idea. Hold on, my door opened. I'm gonna go close it real quick. Hey, Bommy, welcome in. It does say unavailable for the moment. Okay. All right, it will be available at 5. And I'll remind you guys. I was gonna make it 4:30, but man. Well, I have my window open, Jen, so my door opens on its own under those circumstances. Okay, why don't we play some Stardew? I opened my window and seed what I sawed. The law is sleeping on Saturday. That's good though, honestly. We could all use a little bit more slipping. Let me give a quick shout out to the wonderful and impeccable Lee Chalton. Lee Chat's an amazing streamer here on Twitch. And if you find me on Twitch, I'll usually be watching Lee Chat. Make sure you go give her a follow if you're not already doing so. Does a whole bunch of speed runs and other Stardew things. I believe this month you have been raising money for the Canadian Cancer Foundation, right? I hope that's been going well. It's been 98 years since I first came to this farm, and I have not aged a single day. Yeah. I don't know, if you were suddenly immortal, would you question it? I guess I probably would question it, actually. That seems reasonable to question. Also, Boblin, I don't remember if I said hi or not, so hi. Hope you're doing well. Being immortal sounds fun? I don't know. There's arguments for and against it. I see both sides. Yeah, Bommy, it would be a bit of a problem. I mean, if you were just really healthy, you might live for 1,000 years. Maybe. You're assuming the immortality is suddenly for the farmer. Yeah, maybe they've been immortal this whole time. That's a good point, Nelly. I didn't consider that. They've always been immortal. Okay, I noticed in time that I did not have a fishing buff. Let's grab that now. How are you doing, April? Welcome in. Sounds like a nightmare. Yeah, a little bit. I'm kind of partial to the immortality that's like you don't age, and less partial to the one that's like you cannot die, because that one's a little scarier. Alright, let's get some octopi. I don't know if I'd love mortality in Stardew. Just like people, like George dies. Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like the right kind of game for that. I was talking about in real life. I was not talking about Stardew there. Although I'm sure you could make a permadeath mode for Stardew. There's probably a mod that does something like that. Or you can just, you know, stop playing when you die. At some point, we're gonna get an octopus here. There it is. Hardcore Minecraft, yeah. Stardew doesn't seem like the kind of game that would have a hardcore mode. Other than, like, a self-imposed one. I kind of like it, though. Like, having food and drink. But you're never that far from either of those things, so... I'm not so sure it would be, like, impactful. I'm sure there's mods that exist for it. If I could set my age to 21 permanently, I would. Maybe, like, 29. I don't know if 21's the right spot. I've done hardcore Minecraft before, but I'm never, like... I never feel, like, confident to do anything other than try to beat the game, you know? Like, I don't want to build things because I have a chance of losing them. Yes. And you? Et tu? Très bien. Guys, you can't speak another language in my chat. I can't moderate it. And certainly you can't speak French in my chat, because that's banned. I'm just kidding. Hi, Flippy. Welcome in. I trust Lee Chat and somewhat trust Diana to not say bad things in French. I like 29 because it's like right on the cusp of 30. Hey, Big Bad Wolf. Welcome in. I don't know. I think I like that you lose your inventory on Minecraft. It makes death feel like a real threat. My least favorite iteration of like death and passing out is like what every other game seems to be doing now in this genre, which is you lose time. I could stand losing money. I can't stand losing time. Time is like the most important resource in the game for challenge runs and such. So like in Moonstone Island and Fields of Mystria, if you pass out the night before, you wake up like 4 hours later or something. It makes sense, but I don't like it as a game mechanic. Yeah, we're good. Wish I could start my life over with the knowledge I have right now. We were talking about this last stream, I think. Or something similar to it. And, like, different people give different answers to that. Usually people that have, like, settled down in their life. wouldn't want to start over from the beginning. Because, you know, you could never do the same thing again. So if you're happy where you are now, you wouldn't want to, I suppose. I don't know. I'm kind of split on it. The only thing I'd really want to do is like invest in Nvidia or Bitcoin or something. And not have to worry about money again for my entire life. Being rude in Japanese is very hard. I'm gonna guess it's probably not that hard. It's kind of like the southern U.S. southern way of being rude, where you're nice outwardly, but you're not being nice, you know? Like the bless your heart kind of way. Yeah, exactly, Bommy. No, I think Violet was talking about IRL. Yeah, I would have to start over the 999 challenge from the beginning. However, I'd be much better at it, so it would be more efficient. I'd probably start streaming immediately, and not like 8 years later. So we have footage for the entirety of the challenge. Can't imagine if I've been streaming this for 10 years. It's a crazy thought. I mean, I'm already at 4. I guess it's not that absurd. Okay, Octopus, you gotta chill out just a tad, okay? I'm just starting out here. That sounds like an entirely different game, Diana. A game that would be fun. I think there's games sort of like that. Yeah, I mean, Sims is kind of like that, but not exactly. But, like, Crusader Kings 3 kind of has that vibe, you know? Or Crusader Kings 2 as well, but those are the only two I've played. I feel like a game like that would have to be intentionally very slow-paced, which a lot of people probably wouldn't like. Like, Crusader Kings gets away with it by everything being so random that, like, you don't really keep progress that well. It's hard to keep progress. But a farming game like that does sound kind of fun. Be fun if, like, technology advanced, too. So, like, you start with a farm in, like, the 1800s level of technology, and then, like, over 10 generations, you get, like, to modern technology. I guess it would be less than 10 generations, huh? But then, like, what happens if you don't have kids? Do you just lose? You'd also have to deal with, like, 6 generations of villagers, right? It's hard enough to have the 30 or so villagers you have currently in Stardew. You'd have to do, like, 6 generations of that. So they'd probably suffer as a result. They wouldn't be as in-depth or interesting. Or they'd end up being like carbon copies of previous villagers. Ish Glue, welcome in. It does sound like a really fun concept. I just think it'd be really hard to implement properly. They're like a Pokemon. I don't know if that's maybe the best way to do it. You have to like re-level your skills, but like you can teach them, spend time teaching them so that like by the time you grow up or die, they will be slightly more skilled. There's also the additional problem of like when you die, you're like maybe 80 or even 60. But like your children are already like 40, right? 30 to 40. So you've already lost a lot of time with that person. I guess you get like a 20-year period with them. It's a very weird way of saying it, but like a new game plus. That's probably a better way to do it. A wild Chad. Yeah, don't marry someone for their traits. That seems like a bad idea. Hi, Ocean. Welcome in. Congrats on your stack. Very close. A 995. Okay. Can we maybe stop doing whatever we're doing right now? Thank you. Ocean, please! You can't do that. Uh-oh. One left. Can you do it? I would stop while you're ahead, personally. I refuse. Yeah. I don't blame you. It's past 1 o'clock, by the way, so no more octopi. The Traveler. We got 5 tuna. Wow. Okay. Diana got it. Are you really gonna get beat by Diana? I mean, more than normal. I can get rid of that, yeah. Hey, Evertalk, welcome in. Whoa, that's 265s. Those don't even use the same RNG, so that is just completely random. Like, those don't even use close to the same RNG. Himbo is just fully random, and Stack Check uses your name and randomizes it from that. Name multiplied by date, modded 1000 minus 1. It's a Johnny! How are you doing today, Johnny? I'm doing good. How are you doing? I spent a little bit time earlier today. I booted up the game and I was looking at my various stacks of fish and seeing how close and far we are. And my numbers are a bit off from the expectation values. So it's looking like we're going to have to do a little bit of extra fishing after we get like our albacore done. Specifically on the halibut, the herring, and the red mullet front. We already knew about the anchovies and sea cucumbers, but... TJ, congrats on your 195 stream streak. Wowzers. That's a big one. That was 17 minutes ago, and I didn't even notice until now, somehow. Apologies. Hey, Twinkie, welcome in. Yep, we're done with eels. Well, not done, but I left like 70. It's not likely we get more than 70 from this. So we might need to finish it up later, but barely. It'll take like a day. Statue of Blessings give the blessing 1 out of 7 times. The RNG is weird because of how Stardew RNG works, but supposedly it should be about 1 out of 7 times, I'm pretty sure. I don't think any of them are more or less common. But sometimes Stardew gets into weird RNG patterns where things happen over and over and over again. Did I make an Octopi Traveler reference again? I do that every time I talk about Octopi. Yeah, Ocean. So the current plan is, for the rest of the fall, we do Octopus Magic Bait. When we get to winter, we're going to be doing our albacore in the morning into magic bait, so we're going to skip octopus for the winter. And then we'll go back to octopus magic bait in the spring. However, based on my very rough math, sometime in the spring, we should be done with magic bait. Sometime probably very soon at the beginning of spring. It's possible we finish in the winter, but very unlikely, unfortunately. The average for the fish we get is very annoying to deal with, too. Like, I averaged about 8 spooky fish, but as you can see right now, we have 0. But I think 8 is pretty reasonable. Yeah, so octopus magic bait for the remainder of fall, and then albacore challenge baiting into magic bait for the remainder of winter, outside of those few select days. And then spring, we'll start out with octopus magic bait until we're done with magic bait. And then it'll probably be octopus pufferfish. Something else? Maybe we'll start getting done the desert fish. I did figure out that we might be doing halibut on spring nights. Halibut, herring, red mullet. Is it spring? One of the nights has halibut, herring, and spring and red mullet at night. If the plural of octopus is octopi, is the plural of snagglepus snagglepie? Presumably. I'm not sure I know what a snagglepus is, though. Oh, yes! The short should be out now, everybody. If you want to go watch the short, it should have just come out on YouTube. Thank you for the link there, Bommy. I just noticed what time it was. 5 o'clock. EST. Guaranteed job next school year. Should be able to get my own apartment for the first time as well. Going to a baseball game with a couple friends on Saturday. That sounds like a good list there, Johnny. I'm applying for jobs right now. Enjoy, Ocean. I don't think the short's longer than like 3 minutes, so I don't think they can be longer than 3 minutes, actually. See you soon. Older than me. I think we've gotten 2 octopus in the time I've been here, which is unlikely. Yeah, it is tough out there. Science, luckily, there's a few places looking for science right now. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to having to do interviews and, like, sample lessons and things. But I will. Eel. Heavens to Murgatroyd. I don't know if that is, Diana. Sounds like Transformers. One thing at a time. That reminds me, Johnny, I have to get recertified soon. I started doing some Legend 2 fishing and I hate it a lot, yeah. I'm not looking forward to it exactly. Turns out fishes are hard. I don't know if it's reasonable to use the blessing for the quest fish because you have to line it up so well, you know? I certainly wouldn't use it for more than 1 quest fish. The glacier fish really aren't that bad, I feel like. Like, with the trap bobber and, like, 14 fishing, I really don't think it's that bad. I missed them, like, maybe 1 out of 10, which isn't great, but it's not terrible. And you get better at it over time, right, Bomby? Yeah, it's every 5 years for us as well, Johnny. Which is why I need it. Luckily, I've had some steady PD, although not this year, for obvious reasons. Yeah, true, Bami. Sometimes they're really nice. Sometimes they're really mean. It's quite significant, the differences. Whoa. Ah, it's like an older cartoon. Yabba dabba doo. Why Midnight Squid? Stop. We've gotten like 2 spooky fish and 7 Midnight Squid and 0 blobfish. Chances of that should be like unobtainable. And yet it's happened more than once. More spooky fish, please. I missed challenge bait already. Remember when I got 3 fish per cast? Good times. And now I'm getting 20 midnight carp or midnight squid per day when I don't need them. I was just noticing how, oh, spooky fish had almost caught up to midnight squid was my recent thought. And now this is happening. Magic bait will finish one day. It never feels like it, Ocean. It never feels like it. You're right, though. One day soon we'll stop to ponder what it is this spell we're under. We make the grade and still we wonder who the hell we are. It's another midnight squid. Stop. Stop, he's already dead. Hey, Choco Pain, it's good to see ya. How are you doing today? This is an anchovy or a sardine. You choose. Anchovy. That's the one we need more of, so that's good. Yeah, once we're through the magic bait, it's going to feel a lot better. There are 2 other hurdles, Ocean, that I've noted ahead of time that are not going to be fast, but we do need to get done. The stonefish, which you're probably well aware of, and then the scorpion carps. I don't know how long the scorpion carps are going to take. I have not mathed it out or worked it out yet. But honestly, I don't expect it to be that bad. I'm hoping for like 40 a day. We're going to have a really high fishing level. So it should be okay, I think. Yeah, stonefish and the scorpion carp are the 2 that I'm expecting maybe like 40 a day from both of those. But we can do the scorpion carp and the stonefish partially in the same day. Because I have to anyways. The scorpion carp end at 8 o'clock. So I kind of have to. Could be a spooky fish. Very likely it's not. Wow. I think the game has something against me. We still haven't caught a single blobfish. Can someone do a quick, like, what are the chances of rolling... What is this? 15 1 out of 3 chances and not hitting one of those 1 out of 3 chances each time? Surely that's not a great chance. I think that would be equivalent probabilities to everything else. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of need that. That was a really nice super cucumber, by the way. We have a method to catch up with blobfish, but still, like, it's ridiculous. So we haven't gotten a single one yet. I love it when I wait 30 seconds for a fish to bite and it's a seaweed. Yeah, so those days are probably going to have close to 50 fish a day. But that's kind of also what we're doing with our magic bait days. So I don't think it's going to put us that far behind. I'm doing good, Chuckle Pain. How are you? Well, you just said you were good. I don't know why I was going to ask again. So hopefully I can squeeze out about 50 a day, even when I'm doing the scorpion carps. We'll have to see how many we actually end up getting, though. If it's closer to 30 a day, it might be more of a problem. This could be a blobfish, everyone. This could be the blobfish of our dreams. It could also be like a midnight squid. Or it could just be a regular squid. Somehow the worst outcome. Although we did get a row. I shouldn't complain. Somehow the worst possible outcome. Yeah. So the general plan is magic bait will go until hopefully no more than halfway until spring. We will continue doing octopus fishing every day except for winters, because winters we have to focus on the albacore fishing. It's possible this winter, actually, we'll finish with the albacore fishing. We're already at 1,300 albacore, and I just want to bring it to, like... I mean, I guess I should bring it to very close to completion, because we're going to be very close to being done with our magic bait fishing, too, at that point. A blobfish! They do exist. How are we doing on this? Oh, we're still good. We're also going to need the curiosity bobber for stonefish later. So we're definitely not done with them. On the plus side, we actually use up a lot less curiosity bobbers during stonefish fishing. For two reasons. One, we catch a lot less actual fish. And to use up any bit of the lure, you actually have to put a fish on the line. Like catching trash and stuff doesn't use up the lure at all. And two, hopefully we'll be catching about 3 at a time. So overall it'll be less. Having said that, we will also not be using preserving. So it might balance out a little more than I thought. Hey Levitar, welcome in. I'll praise the blobfish. Yes. We were graced today with a blobfish. It's about time. So it's finally nice out here. Hopefully it'll stay nice out. We had hopefully what was our last freeze of the year, the last 2 days or so. I hope. So I was outside doing a little yard work today. When will the squid be done? Do you mean the midnight squid? Probably, hopefully around the same time as spooky fish are done. My math is bringing it to be like early spring. So we're currently about halfway through fall. So the remainder of fall and all of winter and hopefully just a little bit of spring should finish it off. Don't jinx it. Yeah, I know, right? Regular squid are done. I assume you mean the midnight squid, though. I mean, even on the night market day, we're going to still do from 11 until night market time. We'll be doing magic bait. I think we should still be able to fish over here. I haven't tried it, but I don't see why we would not be able to. It's kind of funny to use magic bait on the night market day, but I mean, it should work. Speaking of albacore. Oh, octopus? That's going to be a little longer. We're not doing any octopus fishing in winter. I guess we have to focus on the mornings on something else. I roughly calculated about 100 remaining days, but that's days I'm actually fishing. So the rest of fall here would be 14. Well, I guess 15 technically, because we're counting today. So probably the entirety of next year, not including winter, and then a little bit into the year after. Oof, that's a scary thought. It's a lot of fish. Just won't have your chest of goodies. Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, that's unfortunate, Ocean. We also can't fish here during Squidfest. I think even with magic bait, it still rolls an extra chance for squid, which we don't want to deal with. So we'll have to do some other fishing on that day. Extra squid are useless. This could be a spooky fish. Nope. 14! 14! You don't want to play Squid Games? I don't want to play Squid Games. It's a good way of putting it, Johnny. Still never watched that show, by the way. I watched the first episode and I wasn't super into it, so I stopped. Also, I did some rough math on the iron, and we should be done at the end of fall or at the beginning of winter, depending if I miss many days or not. So, that'll be done pretty soon. We can make our anvils. Alright, I think that's it for today then. We do not need the tuna row. We can put all that away. And head back. I read a manga about the same premise as Squid Games 10 years earlier, and I knew it wasn't for me. Yeah, there's a surprisingly large amount of death game sort of things in anime and manga. Maybe a weirdly large amount. Good night, Violet. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a good sleep. Rest well. My sweet Violet. That was weird. Why did I say it like that? Rest well anyways. Sorry you had to hear whatever that was. 2 plus 2 plus 6 plus 4 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. 66. We actually did pretty well today. 301. At least the math's easy. I am now afraid to go to sleep. Why? Oh, because of me. Sorry, I think. Alright, how are we doing here? Red light, green light. Oh, really? Are you going to start skipping the Moss days? No, I'm going to keep doing the Moss days. So we have one tomorrow, for instance. I don't think it's so dire that we need to skip Moss days yet. I think it'll be fine. I think it gets hot in here with all the furnaces. What am I gonna do with this space when I don't need any more iron? I love what you've done with the place. Ooh. Big lag spike there. The algorithm. Hi, Royce. It's good to see you. That's what they call me. Alright, let's grab this before we forget this time. The razor wire jump rope. Now that does sound terrifying. Actually, I'm not sure that's enough coal. I think it is. Guess we'll find out. More slime egg presses? I've already got a plenty. There's more than I can use to begin with. I only do it every few days now because of that. Look at us go! There was enough coal. There won't be on the next one. So it looks like 300 is basically enough. Let's grab one more of these, 2 more of these. Another Toy Story does seem a little bit absurd to me. I didn't care for 4 very much. I thought it was fine, but I would have preferred they stopped after 3. but it makes them a lot of money, so I don't know. Am I supposed to get mad at them for that? Their job is to make money. Kind of hard to get mad at them for making money. And they're not exactly doing it immorally or anything. They're just cashing in on a product that people want to see. Yeah, I should clarify. I can get mad at people that are trying to make money in some ways, but that one doesn't seem as bad as other things. What the heck? Whatever. Okay, please? There we go. Wow, only 340 slime today. Ouchies. Alright. 3 stacks of slime. Whoop, 2 over. We got 1 red slime egg out of all that. We take it. Alright, today's a Sunday. Let's go do our Sunday tasks. You ate one of the saps I collected. I need that sap, Johnny. I'm running low on sap for quality bobbers. Every 70 or so quality bobbers I need to make, every chestful I need to make, requires like 2 stacks of sap. What's the Bo Burnham quote? I'll stop beating this dead horse when it stops spitting out money. Yeah, it's 20 sap per bobber. So 70 times 20. Okay, it's 1.5 stacks, but yeah. The point still stands. Dried common mushrooms and a cave carrot. Yes, Royce. You nailed it there. You got it. Yeah, I don't know if you're able to see that ever talk, but I've got a bunch of slime egg presses there. I have more than enough slime, but I'm taking my time. I'm not doing it every day anymore. That's it. Repeat stuff. That's what it's from. We know it's not right. We know it's not funny, but we'll stop beating this dead horse when it stops spitting out money. So until then, we will repeat stuff. Yep, we're good to go. That is, in fact, the bow. I win the grand prize. Yes. You get to hang out and chat. That is the grand prize. Congratulations. You have to listen to me talk. Oh, there's a bunch up here. Didn't even see that until now. Hey, bees. It didn't take that long to do the stockpile. I did it over a pretty long time, though. Like, I intentionally got all the things I needed and then just set them near my kegs and stuff and just did it over, like, months in game. But you can look it up on the wiki. It's quite a number of items. Probably over 100 different possible items. But none of them are that hard to get. I'm trying to remember the exact things. Yeah, some of those chests are pretty full. Like, the artisan items that you can get are pretty varied. The non-artisan items are a lot less varied, though. By the way, if you're wondering why these octopus are really nice, it's because we have the Blessing of the Waters today. Hi, Riley. Welcome in. So they're not normally this nice to me. Yeah, this is an octopus. If it moves, like, reasonably at all, you know it's a hard fish. With the Blessing of the Water, it just, like, makes it easier. So if it's an easy fish, it becomes absurdly easy. It's basically a carp. But if it's, like, a harder fish, it will kind of move. Yeah, you can kind of see this is an octopus because it's actually moving at all. Hee hee. All right, time for some more hard octopus here. That's kind of a smart way to do it, Nelly. Yeah, I just went through the entire list of possible items and made like 100 of each. Some of them come more often though. So for instance, things like, I think cave carrot juice and pickles are more likely to be selected because it can be in any season. So I made 200 of those. I didn't really do math on how many I was going to need total. I just kind of guessed. I did 100 for most things and then 200 for the more common items. And I did 80 for the, what do you call those things? For the dried items, because otherwise I would need a lot more. The Blessing of the Waters enchantment. So from the Statue of Blessings, there's a 1 in 7 chance you get Blessing of the Water, and it just makes every fish really easy, comparatively at least. It's kind of the only way, I mean, it's not the only way, but it's the only reasonable way to perfect, like, the Legend and the Glacier Fish, to get, like, 3 of them. All other methods are a lot more annoying. Or you just have to get lucky is the other method, really. Hey, Roberts. Hope I'm saying that right. Welcome in. Doing the Jojo Mart route for the achievement, I don't... What is better? Pay every item from Jojo as fast as possible? It depends on how much you want to do it for the achievement. Yeah, the best early moneymaker is just crops. I would suggest the make a bunch of money in the early game, strawberry seeds into blueberry seeds in the summer. I think when I did it, I was able to finish in summer with just a bunch of blueberries. That way you don't have to worry about like artisan goods or anything. You can get some dehydrators maybe to make your blueberries worth a little bit more. It's really not that much money though if you get like a ton of blueberries and sprinklers. I miss our friend. Oh, you summoned sneakers. If you aren't able to get it done before fall, then I would suggest like pumpkins as well. Pumpkins are a pretty good moneymaker. Cranberries aren't amazing, unfortunately. So the berries kind of stop in the fall. They're okay, but... Melons are the best crop in summer, but only if you have a way to process them. So melons are good in summer. Well, starfruit's technically the best, but you need to be able to put them into like a keg or a preserve jar. If you're rushing to get the achievement as quick as possible, and you don't want to worry about like preserve jars or kegs or anything, then just taking blueberries will make you enough money. If that makes sense. If you want to make the most money possible, then yes. Melons in a keg or a preserve jar will make you more money. But getting all those online can be troublesome. You watch Rocky sleep, yes? You sleep, I watch. They're good for different reasons, Royce. Although pumpkins are better. Sorry, cranberries. Even with the dehydrator, pumpkins are better. By the time you get to fall, typically you'll have enough kegs that you can make like pumpkin juice. And that just makes it better. In summer, though, it's a little less likely you're going to have like kegs and jars ready to go. In fact, it's pretty unlikely, I feel like. Especially kegs. I feel like casually you do not get to level 10 farming until fall. You can, if you know what you're doing, but if you're just playing normally, you're probably not going to get to level 10 farming until fall at least. Or level 9 for kegs. And you don't want to sell them until you get artisan anyways. For the 40% money buff. Cranberries is a band name? That's news to me. Surely bok choy is a band name. If it's not, it should be. Yeah, that was a mean fish, Johnny. Thank you for noticing my struggle. I like the raccoon hat, bees. If you upgrade your house enough, you get kegs. You don't get kegs, you get casks, Riley. And casks, unfortunately, are almost never worth it. Because casks just take a very long time to give like a modest buff to your value of your wine. They can be used for cheese, I guess, but if you're really trying to make money, you're not selling cheese. Cranberries and the bok choys coming to a city near you. No, you're good, Riley. Yeah, kegs can be really annoying as like a first-time player because you need to remember to have a bunch of oak resin ready to go and have a bunch of iron and copper bars and a bunch of wood because kegs are expensive. They make a lot of money, but the stuff you need for them can't be purchased with money. You have to like be prepared to use them. Do you eat your crops in year one? I tend to eat some of my early crops, yes. I usually do a lot of kale in spring because it's good experience to get my farming level up. And then I usually have a bunch of leftover kale that I eat. It also makes a pretty good gift because the majority of villagers like vegetables. So if you have a bunch of like kale that's gold star, it's actually not a bad early gift. Obviously love gifts are better, but it's very rare that in spring you have a bunch of love gifts for people. Generally, one of the first things I want to get online is some way of refilling my stamina early on, so you don't have to sleep early. Oh, we're past 1 o'clock here. Yeah, I mean, you can purchase iron. I wouldn't recommend it if you can avoid it. It's a lot cheaper, and it's really not that hard to mine iron in large amounts. Fishing is also a good way to earn a lot of energy. I forgot about that. Most fish are not worth that much energy, but yeah. I usually do ghost fish fishing pretty early on because it's really good for experience. And ghost fish actually give quite a lot of energy, so I typically eat those for a while. Mimi, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. I'm not sure why my alert's not working. All right. We need to head to the beach. No problem. Also, like, this is all just advice. Play the way you want to, right? Like, you should be able to you'll enjoy playing pretty much no matter what. But if you're just trying to get the Joja achievement done as quickly as possible, I would recommend not even touching your house upgrades. Like, if you're just trying to get the achievement and leave, like, you don't need to upgrade your house for that. It's just gonna waste money and time. Ghost fart. Royce, you have such a way with words. I mean, I would assume the second or third time you play, maybe the first time you play, you probably won't get farming to level 10 in year 1, but the second or third time, I'd imagine you would. It's amazing, like, how big of a difference there are between people playing this game. I don't even mean it in a bad way, it's just, like, there's so many different ways to play this game. But, like, once you know what you're doing, you can take some really good shortcuts. Earliest day you can produce wine. Ooh. Getting level 10 farming that early is pretty tough. I imagine it's in spring, but it's probably in late spring. Because you have to get to level 9 farming. There's a bundle that gives you a keg. So maybe not. Maybe you can get away with that. If you had to make the keg, I would assume it's late spring. If you do the bundle to get the keg, you could probably get it done by, like, spring 12th? You have to wait 7 days for the wine, right? I don't remember which bundle gives a keg. I might have to check. Yeah, your first playthrough should be a mess. That's part of the fun. I still think my favorite part about this game is, like, figuring stuff out for myself. It's a shame that not everybody gets to do that because they watch other people play. There's nothing wrong with that, but for me at least, Like, I really enjoyed figuring out how to play the game on my own. When I started playing, there was no right way to play. People would chat, but like the game had only been out for a month, so no one knew. Feels weird to play duo versus solo. It is a very different game when you can't pause and you have to do everything by yourself. That is definitely true. Bonjour. Hi, Jazza. Welcome in. That's true. You're basically guaranteed 4 rains in summer, so you can plant them all. I don't know if it's efficient, but I like the way you think, Nelly. If you have kegs, wheat's actually not that bad, because beer is actually a pretty solid money seller for how cheap wheat is to produce. The brewer's bundle gives you a keg. That might be a little tough to do by spring 6th or whatever. Yeah, chat's been really good. I see new people come in and I get super worried. Because it'll be like, first time chatter, it's like, oh no, don't say anything, don't say anything. I usually try to mention that it's a blind playthrough pretty quickly when they come in. But no one said anything yet, so... I've been spoiled more by the people I've raided into rather than the chat. I don't think you need a keg to finish the brewer's bundle. There are ways to get some of the things without a keg, I think. All the money needed until perfection with no watering. Wow. I might have to look into that, Nelly. Play quick, Johnny. You can very easily catch up to where I am. Although, it's really hard to... You'll get spoiled anyways, because I'll find something random, maybe. I forgot about that. I'm only 6 days in, I think? Yeah, 6 days in. I'm on day 7, rather. I don't know how to answer that question, Bees, but I assume that's the plot of, like, Eagle Eye? Is that the plot of Eagle Eye? I think that's the plot of Eagle Eye. I don't think he has infinite ammo, though. I'm actually glad that I have stream to force me to play games occasionally, or I never would. I raided into Blade yesterday. I just didn't look at the screen at all. Blade was playing Blueprints Bingo yesterday. Good call. I'm not as sucked in yet as people led me to believe I would be, but I am getting curious on a few things for sure. Would you rather fight a 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck? Surely it's got to be the 1 horse-sized duck. Do I have a knife? Do I have a ranged weapon? There's like too many enemies with 100. There's so many. Like I could probably beat a bunch of them, but think of all the blood too. Whoa. Like by pure volume alone, like 1 horse-sized duck has got to be better. Having said that, I wouldn't want to fight a horse, but like... I feel like it's the same question as asking, like, would I rather fight 1 horse or, like, 100 spider monkeys? It's like, I think I'd rather fight a horse, right? I don't know. I guess there's no real good answer to that, is there? They're gonna bite your ankles, yeah. Gonna bite more than your ankles. I assume they're horses still, right? So they can jump. And if like 10 horse-sized ducks jump on you, you're going to fall over. And then you're done, right? Like, you can't win there. With a horse-sized duck, like, at the very least, you'd probably be able to dodge out of the way of it if it's charging you. And ducks, while they do have teeth, they're not, like, sharp teeth. They're herbivores, right? I guess horses are too, but, like, I feel like there's a difference there still. What is Grave Seasons? I haven't heard of this, Nelly. I got sent on my email here a game that looks kind of interesting that I might play on stream. I have to wait till it releases, though. It was like, it's like a city builder slash, like, farming sim, maybe? But, like, you're in a tree. I don't know, it looks really cool. I think it's called Treetops or something like that. It's not going to be out until next month, though. Never look a gift horse in its teeth or it's going to bite your nose off. Sun Tzu. True. Sun Tzu very much did say that. No, I don't think that's what it is, Diana. Unless you're talking to someone else right now. What is a regular loot box? You mean mystery boxes, or is this a different thing? Oh, Grave Seasons. Gotcha, gotcha. This is an okay way to get mystery boxes. The best way is kind of hard to come up with exactly. I mean, I have my method, but that's probably not the best way. I honestly think combat is probably the best way to get a bunch of them. If you, like, reset a monster floor and kill everything on it very quickly. Make sure you have, like, a good luck day, too. You'll get a lot. Does the game involve crows? Like a murder? Yeah, I got you, TJ. I know your game. I don't know, at your tiny size, I feel like the duck-sized horses would still be worse. Because that means they could probably, like, jump up to your face pretty easily. And knock you over more easily, too. Like, once you're on the ground, if you're being swarmed by 100 of anything, you're done, right? Like, it's over. I feel like with one enemy, at least, you could probably outsmart it. I assume it has the brain of a duck still. So, like, I don't know. I'm pretty smart compared to a duck. I feel like I could do something with that. Gold ones don't appear until you've taken the forging mastery, and then it's only gold ones that appear. Although you can still get the regular ones sometimes. Crowded? Oh, that's funny. That's a cute pun. "100 domesticated pygmy rabbits." Actually, rabbits are a good comparison. Like, the question is basically the same as asking, would you rather fight a horse or 100 rabbits? And, like, I feel like I'd rather fight a horse. If the rabbits were, like, out to get me, that's terrifying. You know how many 100 is? That reminds me of that joke from a long time ago. What would win in a fight? A trillion lions or the sun? Oh, you can get them from festivals, Johnny. I think you also get them from the raccoons. So the raccoons might be the best way. But you can buy them from the Desert Festival. I think in unlimited amounts from the Desert Festival. With enough eggs, obviously. A trillion lions or one of every Pokemon. Ooh. There are a lot of Pokemon. I think a trillion lions still takes that, though. A trillion is a large number. The sun is also a large number, though. All right, I am going to take a break, everybody. We're going to have ads playing in just a second. So I'll be back in about 5 minutes or so. I'll BRB. All right, we're back. I freaking love that you guys are talking about rabies. How long have I been gone? 5 minutes? A trillion lions is just so many. Like, it's impossible to conceive of a trillion. There wouldn't even be a battlefield that would work for this. There's only 1,000 Pokemon. If the Pokemon were, like, smart and working together, maybe? But I don't think so. Like, a trillion is, like, impossible to even conceptualize how many lines that would be. I'm pretty sure, like, they wouldn't even be able to fit on the surface of the Earth. Okay, a line's pretty big, but it's, like, larger than a square meter. But we'll just say it can fit into a square meter. Actually, it's not even that big, huh? A square foot, we'll say. Surface of the Earth in square feet. Okay. Maybe I'm a bit off on that. Okay, so there would be like 5,000 square feet per... Oh, no, that's including the water. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. This is wrong. Hold on. Okay, that can't be right, can it? Okay, the AI is tripping. That's just wrong. How could there be 5.5 quadrillion square feet, but then the water area is only 3.8 billion square feet? That doesn't make any sense. Why am I looking at the AI? Oh, something's going wrong there. One of the Pokemon can create black holes. Can it create a black hole large enough to contain 1 trillion lions? Are we including animal feet, Jazza, or is it just human feet? Do paws count as feet? All feet. Precisely, Nelly. Hi, Jess. Welcome in. The problem is it's just the first thing you see on Google. And I don't want to scroll while I'm streaming. I think the 5.5 trillion figure was right, though. Which means you could, in fact, fit a trillion lions on the Earth. Wouldn't recommend it. Definitely not enough calories for them. They would starve very quickly. Whoops. Whoops. How are you doing today, Jess? If y'all are not following Jess for some reason, get on that. Jess is an amazing streamer here on Twitch and a fabulous person. Make sure you go give them a follow. I'm gonna guess it can't actually create a black hole because that would cause other problems. Like, creating a black hole would be a bigger problem than a trillion lions pretty quickly. If it could do that. How else would the lions get there? I don't think Arceus can create lions. Black holes do grow when they get more mass. It would cause more problems before it could grow, though. I assume these black holes aren't, like, excessively tiny, right? They're probably, like, building-sized, at least. I don't know which Pokemon can do this, but, if you made a building-sized black hole on the surface of the Earth would immediately be ripped apart due to tidal forces. And form into a, what do you call that? An accretion disk around the black hole. Pretty quickly. A small black hole. Have fun with that. If the black hole was excessively small, it would just explode, basically. With the force of, like, a nuclear bomb, which is also a problem. A turn is 6 seconds if we go by D&D logic. Which we might as well at this point. Like, a black hole as big as my hand, I think has more mass than the sun. So, kind of already a problem. Making a hole in a black object. Maybe that does it. I don't remember the equation. At least I can't do it in my head, but there is an equation for the size of a event horizon of a black hole compared to its mass. And I'm pretty sure it's just a 1-to-1 conversion. Like, if you know the mass, you can find the event horizon size. Hey, Zach, welcome in. You have to, like, multiply it by the speed of light or take the square root or something, but it's not E equals MC squared, but I'm pretty sure it does involve the speed of light somehow. I mean, not somehow. That's how a black hole is defined. The event horizon is the point at which the speed of light is not strong enough to escape from it. So, basically, it would definitely involve it. Yeah, Riley, that seems more likely. But then again, then it wouldn't do that good against a trillion lions, would it? Slacking isn't lazy, he's just slow. I think both of those things can be true. Oh, duh. That gives the radius? Oh, that's so easy. Wait, divided by c squared is way too small, right? Oh, because the radius is tiny compared to the mass. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, so, the mass of the sun is 10 to the 30th. G is negative 11, so that's 20. C squared is, to the 8th to the 18th. So the mass of the sun black hole should be approximately on the order of 100 meters. That's actually bigger than I thought it would be. Did I do that math right? 18 to 20. 18 to 19, but 19 times 2. Yeah, it's somewhere between like a meter and 20 meters. Or, and 200 meters. I mean, I could just do this with my calculator real quick. Is that in here? It is in here. Easy. All right. 2 times G times, we'll just do 10 to the 30th power. It's close enough. All right, and divided by 3 times 10 to the 8th. 3e8 squared. Not 8e. 3e8 squared. Okay, 1,500 meters, so it's not tiny. Might be off by a few there, though. That does seem pretty reasonable, though. Okay, so it's bigger than my hand. The Earth would probably be about the size of my hand. Probably smaller. If the Earth were to turn into a black hole. I mean, I could do that one, too. I think the Earth is 25 instead of 30. So minus 5. Yeah. Actually, the Earth would be very close to the size of your hand, I think. It would be like 0.12 meters across. Which is... a tenth of a meter is about hand size, so yeah. Maybe my hands, at least, Johnny. Not your hands. When you learn how to do quick math with exponents, it's actually like magic. I guess all math feels like magic, doesn't it? Things don't exist simply because you believe in them. That's not true about concepts. Like, certain concepts for humans exist because we believe in them, right? Like, there are things that would not exist conceptually without humans believing in them. Ask your science question, Johnny. Free us from this. I think it's gonna get worse before it gets better. $55 fishies. Do you think it's theoretically possible for us to get humans onto Mars in our lifetimes? Yeah, we could do it right now. Getting them off is kind of the harder part. Like, it's theoretically possible to do it this moment. I mean, it would take a while to build the ship, but honestly, like, if we really wanted to, with the same rockets we're using to get to the moon, we could get to Mars. It would just take a lot longer. Landing safely on the surface, we've kind of already solved that. I mean, with the rovers, we'd probably want to do a little better with the humans, but they could live on landing. Getting them off the surface is the troublesome part. The moon has 1/9 the gravity that Earth does. So launching off the moon is very easy compared to launching off of Mars. Mars has 1/3 the gravity Earth does. So it's easier than launching off the Earth, but we also can build the rocket very, very well while we're here on Earth. Whereas on Mars, you can't really do that. You also have to send the fuel to get off of the Mars to Mars. And the fuel, to get the fuel there, is a lot more fuel. It's hard. Rocket math is a little confusing, but basically, the amount of fuel you need to transfer more fuel kind of compounds, which is why rockets are kind of difficult in the first place. If we can't get them off, send death row prisoners. Yeah, that's always a good idea. Generally, we want to send people who are good at science and surviving planets. Begin with. Second of all, yeah, we're not gonna... we can. It's probably not a good idea to kill people in the name of science for a whole lot of very serious reasons. That I guess I'm not going to get into fully right now, but trust me on this, I guess. Space Australia. Yeah, precisely. No, you're good, Zach. I assume you were joking, but I do want to clarify for everybody why that would not be a good idea. Because, unfortunately, there's a lot of people who don't know that you're joking. People are very good at coming up with bad arguments, we'll say. Inch, welcome in. Hope you're doing well today. Yeah, if you ever want to feel super depressed, look into the history of capital punishment in the US. A lot of good videos on it. I mean good in the sense that they well explain their topic, not good in the sense that you're going to sleep well after watching them. Let's just say if you ever want to think that the death penalty is a bad idea, just look at the history of capital punishment in the US for more than 14 seconds in total. It'll pretty quickly convince you that it's not a good idea. Let's grab one of these so we don't run out. I could go through it, but I'm not very good at explaining such things compared to the number of videos that are very good at it so far, that are already out. Johnny, thank you for 5 bits. If I had a nickel for every time you gave me bits, I'd have at least 1 nickel. Thank you, Johnny. Yeah, let's get on that, Nelly. I am all for space exploration, but I unfortunately don't think that'll work so well. Is about 208 years an acceptable time? That's actually pretty acceptable. Are you sure that's how many you'll get in that time, though? I don't think you'll finish that in that much time. Because you have to... I mean, I assume you considered it, but it doesn't seem like that would be enough. Because you have the 1 in 7 chance of getting it on a Blessing of the Blessing of the Waters, and then you've got the oh, I guess you can wait until a day to take the quest. Okay, that does increase the odds quite a bit. I forgot about that. Okay, maybe 208 is pretty reasonable under those circumstances then. Oh my gosh, we got a stone quest. Yes. Unfortunately, miscarriages of justice appear to embolden people in the US rather than dissuade them. But maybe that's not the best conversation for today. Yeah, Flippy, that would make sense. Without the reset, it's... Huh. Actually, that surprises me. I thought it'd be a lot more without the resetting. Because it's only half of the week. Dig site? Dig site. Yeah, we do have a new short out. Anyone is curious on the long sleep? I made a short about the long sleep. And who wouldn't be curious about the long sleep? Oh, no, that wasn't it. It's the same sound for something hitting the water. I was looking for bright lights to appear for me. Thank you, Johnny, for doing that. It was very nice of you. We here at Algorithm Studios know that you have a choice when it comes to YouTube Shorts, and we're glad you chose me. I can't believe it either, Zach. Do you think he realizes how wrong he is? About his own pronunciation. 310. Dang it, I forgot my buff. One of these days, we'll remember our buff. I forgot to do Moss. Even after being told to do Moss, I forgot to do Moss. In Chinese. Note that the game is not Chinese. Let's do Moss today. I did forget, but we can get that done now. He's also said pretty clearly that it can be pronounced any way that the person who's playing wants it to be. So, I do not feel bad about pronouncing it Q. That's how I first read it. It's easier to say. I'm gonna stick with it. I had no idea. The Chinese get their own special hat, though. Yeah, there's a special version of the game released specifically for China because of how the laws over there work. And that version has a hat that you can't get in any other version. Which is the panda hat. And I believe that wasn't Concerned Ape who added that. I think whoever ported the game over to Chinese added that hat. Though I'm not certain on that. It's the best hat, too. It is a nice hat. I'm a little sad we don't get it. It'd be cool if, like, depending on what language you had your game set to, you could get, like, a different hat. Like, you can get a beret if it's set to French. I'm sure we could think of a hat for every language. Or is there a beret already in the game? There's a lot of hats in this game. I'm not sure I know what that means, Bees, but I'm kind of worried about it. How many fish stacks are left? You mean in total, or just for the Becade? I'd have to check either way, I think. But we can check in a little bit here after we're done with our moss. I want a nap, but it's late for nap time. It's never too late for nappies. No, yeah, we'll be starting the long sleep pretty soon here. I mean, pretty soon means in about 4 or 5 months, I hope. The long sleep itself will kind of be in stages, though. Like, at the beginning, we'll probably have stuff to do quite frequently. So, years might still take, like, more than a stream to finish. But once we get into the routine of things, we probably should be doing, like, 2 years of stream, I hope. I don't imagine it'll be quite that good, actually, though. We'll see. Get all those. I missed you. Just make sure, yeah, there's nothing up there. It's mossizing. The mossacy. Prophecy, mophacy. It's really hard to say. Uh-oh, it did the thing! I haven't had this happen in a while. I forgot how you get out of this. There's definitely a way. Anyone else know? There we go, yeah. Okay. It seems like it eventually just resolves itself on its own. It is scary, though. I resized the window. I think that helped. It's known about, Johnny. It might already be fixed in the beta version. What is the coolest D&D monster? That's such a hard question. I don't know if there's an answer. Like, there's a lot of cool D&D monsters. The coolest one is your favorite, Zach. I don't know what my favorite would even be. They're too varied, right? It's like some of them are cool for other reasons, you know? Like a dragon. It's really hard to beat a dragon. For a lot of reasons. Alright. We can go fishing for the rest of the day here. Roper is really cool. I actually fought a Roper very recently. In one of my campaigns. I think it looks a little too ugly to be the coolest though, right? I don't know. Aesthetics are important, I feel like. Beholders are sweet. With a cool name too. I don't know. Anyone in chat, throw out some other names. I'm having trouble thinking of anything. One that I really like, that I think a lot of people underutilize, is the Invisible Stalker. It's also really fun to fight, too. To have it in, like, a combat. Because it, like, shows up to assassinate people. And so you could just, like, have a normal day, and then this thing just shows up to try and kill this person. Or, like, someone. And you have to, like, fight it, and it's invisible. And it does, like, elemental air damage. I don't know. It's pretty sweet. Rapunzel a Roper. Honestly, that's very fitting. I like that. Trying to think of some other underrated D&D monsters. The Oni is absolutely terrifying. The one in D&D like traps children in nightmares and like steals their happy thoughts for its life force. Or was it dreams or something like that? Obviously, there's a lot of different mythology surrounding the Oni IRL, but that's pretty sweet. The Baylor is, like, absurdly sweet. Lord of the Rings kind of cemented that one, I guess, as a really sweet monster. Planetars, on the more angelic side of things, are really cool. Planetar. If you ever wanted to hear Matthew Mercer say Planetar, if you go to the D&D page on Planetar, there's like a voice thing, and you can click it, and it's Matt Mercer saying it. He goes, Planetar. I'm trying to think of other interesting monsters from like the stat books. We can open up a random page. Where is it? I have a newer monster manual. I'm not sure where it is though. Alright, we're gonna open to a random page. Oh, Drow. Or Drow, I guess. Ooh, werewolves, werebear, wereboar, wererat. Alright, let's go here. Dragons, unsurprising. Like half this book is dragons. Oh, yokel. Terrifying demon. I'm pretty sure 50% of this book is the letter D. Cockatrice. These are all angels. Mimic, Mind Flare. Oh, the Mind Flare is a really good one. There's a lot of really cool classic monsters in D&D. Yeah, stun is really powerful in D&D. Which is why it's so hard to land. I tried to avoid crowd control effects like that as a DM. Slow is a little better because it doesn't prevent you from playing the game. It just makes it harder. But like, the thing about monsters like that is you gotta let them have their effects. So, like a Mind Flare in my campaign would still be able to do that. There's a lot of intelligence saving throws. You just gotta look for them. I try to make more common intelligence, charisma, and strength saving throws, because they're very rare in normal D&D. I think intelligence gets a bad rap, though. I think intelligence saving throws happen more than most people realize, especially at high-level D&D. Because there's actually quite a lot of very high-level spells that make you do an intelligence saving throw. And I feel like they tend to be the most debilitating ones. Things like, oh, what's it called? The one that makes you dumb. I can't remember the name of the spell right now. You get 3 saving throws against it, I think, but... TV. What? TV makes you dumb? That's true. I was thinking of a different spell. Is TV a spell? I guess it's kind of magic. You're a little out of date, Diana. Now you would say TikTok makes you dumb, not TV. We take 2 starter up key, I suppose. Ooh. My neck. Stupid sauce? Perhaps. I think the majority of people are very much aware that scrolling social media makes them dumb, but they choose to do it anyways. Which I guess is not that different from how people used to watch TV a lot. I don't know, I feel like TV isn't as dumb making as it used to be. I mean, there are like reality things, but like if you're watching like mainstream streaming platforms television, I feel like most of the shows are pretty highbrow now. I guess it depends what you're watching quite a lot. But like the popular TV shows nowadays are a lot more in-depth shows that make you think and actually have major themes and interesting things going on. Not all of them, mind you, but a lot of them. There is still trash TV, though. I feel like the majority of people who enjoy trash TV, though, like, understand that it's trash TV. They're not watching it because it's high art, they're watching it because it's trash TV. Which is a lot of the reason I watch some anime shows, too. So that's my trash TV, is my crappy isekais and romances that pop up every season that I watch anyways. Do. Oh, we gotta go. We got less than 10 spooky fish today, it looks like. 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 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 plus 1. Alright, 22 fish today. Gotta cut it down somehow. What's your midnight squid row at? Let's give it a look here in a second. $282. This is the first stack. Passed out. Dear God, the iron. True. Well, Con Artists and Lying Nobles would be a check, Diana, not a saving throw. Saving throws are typically against spells or like class abilities. And there's a lot of intelligence checks. I mean, it does depend on the DM quite a bit, but I didn't have a child. No, I agreed to having a child. The actual process of making a baby takes a little longer than that. Not much longer, mind you. Bees, can we not, please? That doesn't seem like a good thing to talk about. Or even close to a good thing to talk about. Please be careful. More careful in the future. Especially with your earlier comments, too. If you fail the perception check. Yeah, like if you get swindled or something like that, it'll be a perception check. I mean, you could make it a charisma check, too. But yeah, it'd probably be an insight check, not perception. So that would be wisdom. But that makes sense in that context. You could make an intelligence check. Like, if you know more about the topic than they do, you might be able to, like, one-up them more easily. And be like, oh, no, that doesn't make sense. You're lying, sort of thing. Let's put that in there. Get there. Get that there. Grab one of these. Grab one of these. And that should do it for getting us ready today. I do need to go to the festival. Luckily, there's a very easy time to get over there. Melissa, welcome in. Hope you're having a lovely day so far today. I have to be at the festival before 2 o'clock, but my octopus ends at 1, so it becomes pretty easy to deal with that. I go through life failing saving throws with advantage. Why are my alerts not working today? That's weird. Melissa, thank you so much for the resubscription for the 5th month. Enjoy your emotes, your sub badges, and your ad-free viewing. Hold on, I need to go into studio mode here. All right, I'm gonna see if I can't figure out what's going on with my alerts here. But welcome back to the stack, Melissa. I apologize that that did not go through. Ooh. That was weird. Thank you, Jess. That's why we have mods. All right, here. Where's the test alert? It didn't go. That's the preview. Shouldn't there be a button that's like test alert?
Oh, it's a person.
Okay, that's working. Thanks, Kevin. Okay, I'm not sure why it didn't work beforehand. We might have to double check that. Does anyone never pair their socks when folding laundry, then dig through them looking for a match? You just reminded me that I haven't folded my laundry. I'll have to do that in a little bit. I try to buy socks that look the same, so I don't have to match them. but I'm not 100% sure. I'll just have to re-tumble my clothes so they don't get wrinkly. Won't be a problem, though. Yeah, D&D is a game where everyone's supposed to be having fun, though. I don't know if I can reasonably... Like, as a player, I know how annoying it is to be stunned for, like, an entire round or match or something. And it's like, why am I even here? Because combat takes, like, 5 hours sometimes. I forgot my buff. They are cool and make battle scarier, which is why they should be used lightly. I've actually been working on coming up with other things that can happen to the player characters, so that there's something they have to react to, but it doesn't take them out of the fight, you know? Like a concept like Doom from Hades, I think, is a fun one. Hades and a few other places actually do it very similarly, where it's like you stack up this damage on them, and if they don't get rid of it, they just die. So it's kind of like a more interesting way for something like that to happen. So they're not, like, impeded in any way, but it's like, oh, I gotta deal with this or I'm gonna die, sort of thing. Ruffles are special, Melissa. I think ruffles are very special. I don't think socks have to be boring. They can be, but they don't have to be. I don't think too much about my socks, though. My nicest socks are, I mean, obviously, are the ones I, like, wear to weddings and stuff. But it's always fun to have, like, cute socks for that. No one sees them, really, but... Oh my gosh, my alerts aren't working. Why is it like this? Slobs! This is why I gotta switch to Twitch alerts. Mal, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you so much for bringing your community on over here. Hello, Ducky. Hello, Mal. Hope you're having a fabulous day so far today. Lilu, thank you so much for the follow. Sorry, my alerts aren't working. I'm not really sure why that's the case. Emmy, welcome in. It happens to all of us. Don't worry, Emmy. Hope you're having a good day today, too. Go give Mal a follow if you're not already doing so. Mal is a fabulous streamer here on Twitch and a really good friend of mine. Mal was working on her Mega Modded Challenge. How did that go? Hopefully your computer was nice to you, by the way. I know you had a drop earlier. Alright, I'm gonna copy my alert thing back over to my box here and see if that fixes things. Can I just copy this without... I think that's the browser source, right? Hold on. You guys can't see this, so who cares? What does launch mean? Alright, hold on. I have to go into studio mode really quick and see if I can fix this. That is an entirely different URL. I'm kind of worried about that. Oh, no, it isn't. That's right. Okay. I don't know what's going on with that. Alright, well, regardless. We're gonna get back here, get out of studio mode. I mean, my test alerts are working. So, there you go. Thank you, Mal, for raiding with a party of 2,845. Thanks, Mal. Diana, thank you so much for gifting a sub to Mal Blue Eyes. Mal, welcome to the stack. Enjoy your emotes, your sub badges, and your ad-free viewing. So nice of you, Diana. Even though they're creepy, especially because they're creepy. Anyways, Mal, thank you so much for bringing your community on over here. If you don't know me, my name is The Algorithm. I'm doing a challenge to collect 999 of every stackable item in Stardew Valley. We're working on our octopi right now. And they're a little slippery, believe it or not. We try to keep things chill, calm, and just talk about science, math, whatever strikes our fancy here. So if you do have any questions about the challenge, or science or math, feel free to ask them. Or space. I like space. But if you do need to head on out or raid and run, I totally understand that as well. Mal, thank you for bringing your losers on over here. No, I'm kidding. Your community on over here. I'll do my best to take care of them. I'm sure you need a rest, Mal, so if you do want to head on out, I get that too. We're just gonna focus up on catching this octopus, maybe. I hope. Today is the Stardew Valley Fair, which we do need to go to. So I am prepared for that. It doesn't actually lock you out until 2 p.m. though. So we just have to get there before 2 p.m. I don't want to waste the day, so we're just going to be fishing. Ooh, music farms. Ooh, which music? What songs, I guess, would be the right way to say that, if I spoke English correctly. Go for it, Mal. Enjoy your lurk. And same with you, Diana. Enjoy your lurk as well. Melissa, thank you for the bless RNG. Yeah, my alerts have not broken in quite some time. The chat is still working, and that's also from Slobs, so I'm not really sure what changed. Sneakers has been summoned. Thank you, Inch. Sneakers has been summoned! Oops, stonefish as well. Un momento. There he is. Hey, Wolf, welcome in. Yeah, we're going to be octopus farming for a while. We've been doing pretty good on it, though. 1 second, everybody. I just need to mute for a second. Alright, sorry about that. I had to respond to a text message and I didn't feel like typing. Has anyone else noticed that talk to text has gotten significantly worse this month? It might only be for, like, Androids, but oh my gosh, it's been so bad lately. It's been like, I'll say 5 words and it won't get any of them right. It used to be perfect. Like, 7 years ago, it worked perfectly. And now they're trying to do, like, the whole AI thing, and it's made it so much worse. Gosh, Octopus. I see you've sent a message, Diana, in all caps. I cannot read it for the moment. I will get there momentarily. Oh, Woof, thank you so much for the subscription. My alerts aren't working today. I'm not exactly sure why. So I do apologize for that. But thank you so much. Welcome to the stack. Enjoy your emotes, your sub badges, and your ad-free viewing. Pretend the music's playing. It sounds lovely. This octopus is mean, rude, absurd. Boop. Good way to get rid of the ads, that's for sure. Just happened to me. OMG. Oh, can anyone read lips? I mean, I can tell you what I was saying. My friend was telling me how plane tickets just, like, doubled in price for him. And I let him know to use incognito mode because it knows he's been searching for those plane tickets. Should have seen what my phone came up with, though. It worked on the second try. All Alright, enjoy your lurk, ducky. Enjoy your tamadachi. Playing. It's just Japanese for friend. Should call it nakama. There's a part of Project Hail Mary, the book, where he says something along the lines of, they weren't just my friends, they were my crewmates. Every time I just think of One Piece, and it's like, you're not just my friend, you're my nakama. Which is like Japanese for crewmate. But in One Piece, they use it as like a term of endearment. Ooh, what ran out? You ran out. Maple syrup? What? A bear wouldn't do home invasions. It's too polite. I don't know if you've met a lot of bears. They're not all that polite, to be honest. Some are polite, I assume. How's the fish poop, by the way? What? Is that roe? Are you saying roe is fish poop? Roe is fish eggs. Is it fecating well? Yes. Yes, it is fecating well. I think. If I'm understanding what you mean well correctly. You've met a lot of bears? I am friends with many bears. Bears love honey and berries and getting up to mischief. And I'm pretty sure they would invade your home for any of those three things. In Michigan, I think we only have black bears. But as soon as you go north into Canada, there are brown ones. Oh, bother. How many hours are you up to on this farm? Somewhere around 5,000, Wolf. I don't have an exact count, though. The game doesn't do a good job of keeping track of its own hours. It only says like 3,000, but that literally cannot be correct. Like, there's no way that's right. That hype train feels a little bit off, but thank you all for the hype train. Not sure why it decided to start now. I won't look a gift horse in the mouth, though. Smokey is your favorite bear? I don't know if Smokey is top 5 for me. Thank you for the 100 bits, Jess, and for summoning a picture of Brady. It's very kind of you. Thank you, Jess. Scam train. When Shawnee did that video, I was at more than 1,500 hours, I think. Shawnee asked me for the farm that was like 1,000 hours plus, and I was closer to probably 3,000 at that point. It was a good video, though. Absolutely great video. We're gonna have ads here in a second, and I'm gonna take advantage of this time to go deal with my laundry. But there's a scam train. Sorry, everybody. I'll be back in a little bit, everyone. BRB. Why are Pooh and Tigger even in England? That's where they belong. I'm back. What's uh-oh? Did something uh-oh happen? I hope not. All right. We do have a little bit of time here. If you can't keep them permanently, then they aren't required for the challenge, in my opinion, Stamwell way. So Q beans and calico eggs, I don't bother stacking. I've gotten a stack of all of them though, at one point or another. Just because. I mean, not even just because. That's just like I've needed a stack of each of them at one point or another. Welcome in, by the way. Like, I had a stack of Q beans and Q fruit at least once to make my products, the artisan products. And the calico eggs, you get like a whole stack of them pretty commonly if you're doing Skull Caverns. With how many you can get in Skull Caverns, I really feel like he should up the amount you get for everything else. Because you barely get any for doing like the trivia game and other things like that. Really? I only get like 5 fish. Huh. Maybe it's something related to what Wolf Cub said. I'm not seeing a whole lot of the chat, unfortunately. I'm gonna refresh and see if that fixes it. It also wasn't running my ad, so it might be a Twitch issue. I'm gonna refresh my Twitch thing here. Yeah, I don't see your message anywhere. Was it before I left? And I did add more messages when I refreshed. Wi-Fi hungry. Okay, yeah, it's not showing up for me. Huh. The last thing I see before I left was Goodbye Scam Train. From Woof. And then an uh-oh from Woof, which I'm worried about. I'm not sure what happened. Oh, the stream seemed to go down for a second. Yeah, there must have been something with Twitch being weird. Because I didn't drop any frames on OBS's end. Probably an issue with the alerts, too. Enjoy your alert, game dev. Welcome in. Well, we're making it through fall. That's good, at least.
Yes, science!
Thank you, Bomby. Yeah, the sound alerts are from a different platform, so it's good to see that's working, at least. That one worked the same way. The sound alerts aren't from Streamlabs. They're from a different program. I think called Sound Alerts, funny enough. Yay, Noct. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's coming up quick. As soon as we're done with fishies. After we catch 19,220 more, 4 more fish, we will be sleeping. What about the fresh food? Same thing. It disappears after a week, so I don't need to stack it. Or maybe it's 2 weeks. Regardless, it disappears pretty quick. I think there was a update that let you keep them Stamway. I don't think you can do that anymore, though. I could be wrong about that. Do you remember when you made those? It's definitely not intended by CA. Okay. Are you on Switch? Or is this on PC? Oh, it's 2 a.m. Whoops. Oh, it's mobile. Okay. That probably has to do with the fact it's mobile, yeah. There's some weird glitches on mobile. Oh, but the host is on PC. I forgot you could do that. It feels like it shouldn't work. Cool that it does, though. Hi, Magnolia. Welcome in. Alright, let us count our fishies. $27 fishies. Oops. $19.19.7. Hi, Piano. Welcome in. How are you doing today? If y'all don't know the wonderful Piano Addict, they're an amazing streamer here on Twitch, who recently went live again after quite a bit of a break. They do all sorts of Stardew Valley challenge runs and speed runs. Make sure you go give them a follow if you're not already doing so. No, Stam. Yeah, if they're not required for the challenge, I don't collect them. I consider anything non-permanent not very interesting to collect anyways. It's just gonna disappear anyways, so you can't, like, hold on to it. This is a hoarder challenge. If it's going away, then we don't keep it. Wow, that was a heck of a lag there. Saw you over at Cap's channel. What were we doing over on Cap's channel? Just the voice acting, or was there something else going on that I missed? That I wasn't invited to? I don't know, Noct. It's far enough away now that I haven't really thought about it too much. I imagine I will keep playing. I don't think it'll be casual. We'll be doing different challenges. Probably not anything as long-term, though. Oh, do you mean in the chat? Okay, that makes more sense. Hi, Mel. Welcome in. You mean you just saw Piano hanging out there? That makes more sense. I thought this was like a collab situation. You all don't know Mel. They're a wonderful streamer here on Twitch and a great friend of mine. Make sure you go give Mel a follow if you're not already doing so. There we go. That should do it. Thank you, Jess. Do. Go here. Big Gamer Tom doing a multiplayer Skull Cavern dive. That's awesome. Funny enough, Piano just did a multiplayer Skull Cavern dive with Lee Chat the other day. They're all the rage right now. Buff! Hi, Kelsey. You're right. I am buff. Thank you. How are you doing, Kelsey? Welcome in. Those are my moss trees. Yep. We collect moss every 2 weeks. Approximately. Yeah, I could tell you're having fun, Piano. You and Leech at both. I like the part where you died one after each other. It was very cute. It was like, Leech, how could you die? And then you died on the next run immediately. Finally, we got an octopus. Dedge, precisely. Getting a little sick of these octopi being rude. That one was pretty nice, actually. I gotta treat them well when they're nice to me, or it'll only get worse. Move this down here so I don't forget about it. Sorry, big yawn. Oh no! My FOMO is activating, Stamway. You've activated my FOMO! Everyone except me was there. I'll have you know I talked to Cap today. Sort of. Hi Felix, welcome in. See you later, Stam. Thanks for hanging out. My recent Stardew playthrough, I would have had Community Center done in year 1, but I forgot the pufferfish. Yes, that's a common one for people to forget. It's kind of the first one you can miss out on. I mean, some of the spring crops, but you're not likely to forget the spring crops because you're gonna immediately get those done as soon as you can. You can't miss any fish in spring. So summer is kind of the first fish you can miss. And I think pufferfish is the only summer-only fish. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. In the CC, I should say. Because Dorado is summer-only as well, but I don't think it's required for the CC. a good idea to get the tuna in the summer, but you can also get it in winter. Picked a predictor to see if I get a pufferfish before next summer. It says pufferfish summer year 2 is my first one. Oh no. It knows. It wants you to suffer. Yeah, there's no way to get magic bait before that. So you're stuck. Ah! Shimar, welcome in. Thank you for the blessed RNG. Alright. That could have been a pufferfish, but it was trash. Yeah. You could do that. Speaking of pufferfish, do you want one? Nom, 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 nom. We only got 8 octopus that time, sadly. Alright, that's ready to go. That's ready to go. Let's go. My pufferfish. One eel instead. You can get it on Ginger Island. However, you don't have access to Ginger Island until you finish the CC. It's a rude catch-22. It always feels bad when you have to wait 30 seconds for a fish to show up. Oh, I heard a sound in game and immediately clicked, even though it wasn't the right one. Come on. Hey, Rat. It's good to see ya. I briefly considered Joja. Briefly, I hope. Very briefly, I hope. Some very angelic music going on right now. What is this from? Well, this must be the yeah, this is from Terraria, the cut soundtrack. A few nanoseconds at most. I don't know if you can have a thought that's only a few nanoseconds long. I think your brain can't process things that fast. In a nanosecond, light doesn't even travel the length of your body. It's like a half meter. Fish. Am I weird for never noticing? I mean, I noticed it said fish before. But, like, it's weirdly shaped to fit on that sign above Willie's house there. The H is cut down and so is the F. And should that be, like, shaped like a fish? Like, you could very easily add, like, a tail on that. Oh, what the heck? It just got really windy outside all of a sudden. That was my first blobfish of the day, by the way. Ah, interesting that it did that. Yeah, because I didn't... Oh, I did drop some frames, but not on break. I must have dropped frames a little bit ago. It might start raining outside in a minute. Do-do-do-do-do. There's some more blobfish. Everyone's getting back from the beach. We have Abby, Carolyn, Pierre, and Harvey. So a family trip, and Harvey decided to tag along. Oh, I need that tackle actually. Bum bum bum. I feel like my fishing has been very slow today. Like more so than normal. Maybe I'm just more impatient. It's hard to turn down a chest that free. Come on, fishy, fishy, fishies. We've only got a few more minutes here. Especially if you take 30 seconds to bite every time. I wouldn't mind to see like a stats screen in this game. So I could like look in my menu somewhere. And like with my currently equipped bobbers and everything, it would tell me the minimum bite time and the maximum bite time per fish. It would just make me complain more, I think. Maybe it's better that it's not in there. I'm happy with all the blobfish we've been getting at the end here. We started with none for most of the time. A few extras. Pretty nice here. I haven't seen a spooky fish in a while, though. Yeah, that's fine. That's acceptable. Oh. Burning fiddlehead emotes, yes. I used to collect fiddleheads mostly from the harder mines, the jungle levels. And very often, well, it was more like occasionally, but it felt like very often, I would accidentally blow them up. So that was my fiddlehead burn emote. And the other one's more along the lines of like the "this is fine" meme, but with the fiddlehead burning. Yeah, precisely. Right. A few more casts here. 2 more hours in game. Which equates to about a minute and a half out of game. Out of the fishing minigame, I should say. Lee, welcome in. Yep. We made good progress last stream. We made okay progress this stream. Another albacore, huh? Progress is still progress, it's true. And we're getting our night market fish done very slowly. But they are getting done, which is the important thing. Yeah, that's true, Lee. Welcome in, by the way. I hope you're doing well. If only the same could be said about my group project. Group projects are so tough. It only takes like 1 weak link to make the whole thing unstable. Do your best, though. I find that whenever I had a group project, we would all meet up at the library and manage to get nothing done in like 2 hours. Pretty par for the course, honestly. At least you're able to get a meetup. Yeah, I mean, you can force a meetup. Say, I'm going to be here at this time in this place. You guys need to come or I'm tattling. No, but yeah. I guess I've been lucky for the most part, thinking back on most of my group projects. Like, no one in particular was the weak link. We were all a bit lazy, but none of us were, like, incapable. I can think of a few instances. That's good to hear, at least, Lee. Yeah, hopefully you can get through this. And if it still is giving you trouble, make sure you just document everything. Save all the emails. Make sure you're reaching out to people regularly so you can show your professor, hey, I tried to work with everybody and they blew me off or whatever. Professors are very understanding about that sort of thing because they see it all the time. If you can show that you did your genuine best on the project, you'll probably be fine. Let's count our fishies. I should say not all of them are like that, but in general they are. Likely to be fine about that. Okay, good. Glad to hear that. Yeah, as long as you're documenting that you're doing your best, you should be fine. $56 fishies. $19,141 fish to go. Anything else shoot over? Oh, it doesn't look like it. Tuna's getting kind of close to the 999 mark. Halibut's not there. Herring's getting a little close. I think by the time we're done with magic bait fish, there's only going to be like 3 fish, ocean fish at least, that aren't all over 999. Flounder probably will not, although it'll be kind of close. Herring will probably be over, although it will also be kind of close. Halibut will definitely not be over. Red mullet probably will not be over, although, again, it'll be kind of close. Tilapia won't be, but we're getting that from a different source. Hey, Annabeth, welcome in. Hope you're doing well today. We're doing some counting, yeah. 167? Yeah, we're gonna need a lot more than that, but it's a good start for sure. We need 2 whole stacks, unfortunately. These are my finished fish here. So anything that's smoked in here means we have 2 full stacks of it. And then anything that has a number in here means we have our first stack done and we're working on our second stack. So we have 999 octopus plus 170 more. And this is what we're really working on right now. We want to get spooky fish up to 999 so then we can stop fishing for it, we hope. We have to do magic bait fishing to get these done, and they're taking their time for sure. They are very slow. On the plus side, we're getting a bunch of other stuff done at the same time. Eels are very close to being done. I'm going to wait to finish them until these are done, though. 24 of the normal legendary fish. How can you get 24? Maybe with multiplayer you can. But you should only be able to get 3 of the normal legendary fish, right? With challenge bait. Is that 3 times 8 for 8 multiplayer? You can invite more people, so you can technically get a full, as many as you want, because you can kick people out and bring more people in for multiplayer. So you could have someone join, catch them, and then kick them out, and then have someone else join. Yeah, so that's kind of why multiplayer stacks in this game gets kind of weird, because you can technically get 999 of a lot of things you wouldn't normally be able to. I'm not going to do that, no. We're not doing any multiplayer for this challenge. If we were to do multiplayer, it would be a separate challenge. I'm happy with my current workload. Go for it, Annabeth. Up to you. You got this. Yeah, some of the stuff you can stack in multiplayer is terrifying. So I'm not super interested myself. For the regular legendary fish, you can only ever catch them once. So 3 is the most you can get, because once you catch them, they never show up again. So if you use challenge bait and perfect catch, you get 3. But other than that, you get 0. Or you get at most 1. Those I don't think actually stack. Maybe they do, actually. I think even in multiplayer, though, Annabeth, you can't get more than 1 of those. I might be wrong about that. But the coffee machine from the one quest stacks. You know that quest with Birdie, where you have to like bring the items to different villagers? Every single one of those items stack. So technically speaking, you would have to. I don't even want to talk about that one, but you technically speaking have to do some really annoying things to get 999 of each of those. It is, in fact, dirty. Challenge bait, a Legends fish pond. You can't catch fish out of a fish pond outside of an exploit, which I don't use exploits. If you fish on the very highest part of the fish pond, technically you can catch fish out of that, but that's not an intended behavior by the game. That is not something that the game plans on you being able to do. Alright. How's this doing, by the way? We're almost done here. This much more iron. Yes, they do, Flippy. But because you can miss it, I don't count it as part of the challenge, if that makes sense. Because you can not have the legendary fish at any point in the game. There's a way that you can not be able to get the row, which is actually the point I'm at now, because I don't have the legendary fish. So as a result of that, I don't require that for my challenge. They'd be basic quality. If you perfect catch them, they might not be. I'm not sure. But basically, if you line yourself up perfectly... I don't even know if I can do it here. Nope, that didn't work. Go a little higher. Nope. Nope. Probably easier to do on this top one. Nope. I actually don't know how high up you have to go. Huh. I've never actually done this before, but it is technically possible. I don't think this one got patched. I think Blade used it somewhat recently on current patch. I think Alexa figured out how to do it with like a chair to line yourself up, like guaranteed on it. I think it's 1 pixel wide, so it's like very difficult to hit. Yeah. Oh well. We're not going to worry about it right now. That is all she wrote for today. I would stream for another day, but I have to eat dinner in 10 minutes, and I'd rather not take a long break and then not stream for very much after that. So we are going to go ahead and call stream there. Are there other things that are technically missable you're excluding from the challenge, other than things that got patched out? All the legendary fish. I mean, that wasn't patched out, but like you can only get 1 of each legendary fish. So the legendary fish, their roe, their aged roe, all not required. Pork chops. I don't actually know what I'm having for a side. I'll have to figure that out. But pork chops for the main dish. Legendary fish bait. True. Yeah, that one too. There used to be more, but I think most of them got patched out. Like the secret notes used to stack, but you can miss them. But they don't stack anymore now. All right. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Pork chops and applesauce. No, not quite. I don't actually think I have any applesauce right now. I should work on that. That's a moral failing on my part. Whoop, wrong button. Let's see who live. I'm only seeing 2 Stardewers right now. I'm not 100% sure what Red Wolf is up to right now, but it looks like fun. So we're gonna send our love over there. The Red Wolf is a very chill, fun streamer. Looks like she's doing some modded Stardew right now, doing some decorating. So we'll send the love over there. Thanks everyone so much for hanging out. We're just gonna do a regular raid message real quick here. Copy that first one if you are a subscriber. Copy that second one if you are not. I'll catch you guys all in the future. Bye for now, everybody. Bye, Annabeth. Bye, Flippy. Bye, Wolf. Goodbye, Melissa. Goodbye, everybody. Copy that right message if you can. And I'll see you guys all later. Bye. Bye, Nelly. True, smoked legendaries too.